All right. Welcome, welcome, friends. This is Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations, Part 18. This very well might be the last episode. Bam, bam, bam. Da-da-da-do. Bam, bam, bam. Da-da-da-do-ba-do-do. Bam, bam, bam. Everyone having a comfy night? No? Up.
You should be voice acting now, bro.
You're all fucking horrible people, and I just want you to know that.
I know.
I get that.
All right, motherfuckers. Here we go.
Oh goodness, we left off on the cliffhanger.
Yeah, I did.
Shit. Okay. Mia Fey.
Somehow knew this was it.
I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up.
That's you, Seth.
No, that's you.
You're
Is it?
gonna-
Oh yeah, I'm the judge. Duh. Or you're the
No,
judge.
he's the
I'm
judge.
the judge.
God damn it.
And the reason it wasn't possible was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died?
Yes, and I realized I was the only way. There's only one way to take revenge against the dead.
Revive them so they suffer in this universe.
How do you do that?
Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. I wanted to take the person that Mia Fey loved the most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans.
Just for that? For that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fay.
I gotta get it back into the voice. Now I'm just a simple country chicken. There we go. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless.
Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon warden hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left the Hazakura temple.
So, it was Alista Nim who channeled her after all.
That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing.
That cheek jiggle, though.
Yeah, whoa. Whoa
She
now.
left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back.
Fixing the captions for the 9,000th time tonight. Let's go!
What did you do then?
Went to Applebee's.
That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in the front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... Oh my fucking god, she fucking did.
Oh my fucking god.
7 hot dogs
7, yeah.
a day.
No, that's not
Is
the
that high?
sound clip I wanted. Oh well. So then you're saying you stabbed Maya?
It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that.
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh, fuck. What does that mean? No
That
clear.
boy needs therapy. Purely psychosomatic. Shoutouts to avalanches.
I don't know. I think I was stabbed.
You were stabbed?
At the last minute, Maya Faye must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
Bullshit. That's not like her at all. I wouldn't stab a french fry with a plastic fork.
Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern.
If you eat fries with a fork, seek help.
The only time I guess it's acceptable would be like
Just as I
animal.
was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back.
Those
They're
animal
really fried, sure.
animal style fries are like gross. Or chili fry, like chili cheese
Yeah.
fries. I ain't grabbing those with my bare fingers. It look like I
Disco
poo-pooed.
fries?
Hey, poutine.
Chili fries you eat like it's in a trough. You just
Disco fries is like the bologna cousin of poutine. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her.
I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end.
And that's where my memory temporarily stops.
What in the fucking tarnation? There you go. That's his voice clip.
I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Faye with my own 2 hands.
Did you use your bare hands instead?
My second amendment right. Don't mess with Texas.
My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes.
Dude, she fucking gunned her down, dude.
When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness.
You shot me down, bang bang.
Is
You were in the sacred cavern?
that like the secret tunnel?
Secret tunnel. The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow, I had been trapped in there.
But how did you wind up in there?
I'd like to know that myself.
Well, that's why I fucking asked.
Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Faye was dead.
Fish and chips is one of the best meals out there, bar none.
And I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself.
For a ghost, you're one tough cookie.
I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out.
The trick lock stopped you, huh?
I didn't know how to remove it.
So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside this secret tunnel?
Yes. I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it.
I have a specific bottle of English pub vinegar expressly for fish and chips.
It's true.
It's true. Interrupted?
It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall.
Yeah, someone came in your fucking mom.
Nani?
Nani the fuck?
Nani the fuck?
Could it have been Maya?
I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see.
Why not?
If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the secret cavern.
Secret tunnel.
I need to slide in here.
And then I forget the words. And it goes something like through the mountain.
Watch your toes, watch your toes, watch your toes.
Where's that giant piece? Go.
Oh, I can change the noise gate on it. I put it back to automatic.
That works. I'm just gonna make like a temporary part.
Let me see if I can fuck with it. Hold on. Secret tunnel. Alright, go ahead and make some noise. Make some noise. And you're like... Never mind. Never
Well,
mind.
anyway, I'm sure you can still hear me echo through. Well, actually, that's not terrible.
Yeah. No, you're good now.
Okay, I do have something else that'll help. Go ahead.
So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the secret tunnel.
That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll in fucking gravy.
Thank God that's gravy. I thought it was something else. You got some corn in there, bro?
Chunk it.
Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. Oh, doing right.
Temporary shield. Actually, kind of, no, it helps a little bit.
But I was too late.
What do you mean by that?
The flies had already started to gather.
The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct?
Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern to put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped.
Spoiler alert, the flies were for the gravy.
But just then, Lady Luck showed up.
Jesus is the bread.
Lady Luck?
After that big earthquake, she showed up, all by herself.
The real Iris?
She said she'd come to make sure the secret tunnel was all right. Stupid girl.
Stupid girl, you make me look bad.
I came out from the sacred cavern to got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I had finally learned exactly what had happened.
What had happened was...
It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded.
What do you mean your plan had succeeded?
I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed it was Pearl Fay.
Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was... Misty Fay, the picture book author.
Nani?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there.
Not exactly. Your logic doesn't pan.
Maya Fay, I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit.
What, being a furry?
And that is...
Matricide, the sin of killing her own mother.
Objection! I knew I'd get someone fucking riled up. No way!
Rabble, rabble. Oh, order! Order in the court. What is the meaning of this?
It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fey. But even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Fey's life was none other than your darling little Maya.
Ridiculous. That's nonsense.
Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there?
What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence?
The fact that Maya Fey has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it?
Huh?
The idea that she's still in the secret tunnel is just ridiculous.
There's no Warren Boss Sing say.
She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else?
What? Why?
Eagle River?
Maya Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies wind up in there are lost forever.
We've proved that that's not happened like twice.
So, what do you have to say now, Freeney? Feeny?
Ugh.
Boop, 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 boop.
Oops. Sorry, that's my phone.
What kind of ringtone is that?
Boop, 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 boop.
Get out here. Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Was it something important?
They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern.
That's great. What about Maya?
There was a woman in the cave.
Was it my Fey?
It was the accused. Sister Iris.
Huh?
Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that.
What's wrong with you? I say you did.
So, what about Maya? Where is she?
There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern.
No, it can't be.
I told you, didn't I? She's dead.
Oh my god, she fucking did.
Oh my fucking god, she fucking dead. No! No! No!
What in the fucking... You got a hurting mouth is going on here? That this case has come to an end. A tragic end. I swear that sword has changed design about 7 times.
A little bit.
Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise stroke name, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped to her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River.
It can't be. Fucking Arnold. It's always Arnold's fault. Huh.
That's right. Have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. No matter how improbable it may seem.
What was that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot?
According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side, near the bridge.
That's right. That's where she jumped from.
That sounds like a whole load of bullshit to me. But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite. Perhaps try a nice comfy G-string next time. Or, in fact, try Commando. Just relax and think the whole thing again. Think through the whole thing again. I'm 31 years old and still can't fucking read a simple sentence.
I'm 19 and I never learned how to fucking read.
No, I cannot. So, it's impossible? Maya couldn't have thrown herself into the Eagle River?
Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side.
Yeah, we did this last time.
Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim?
You bet your sweet fucking bippy I do.
Cause there's rocks at the bottom.
It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness.
What did you say?
Yo, have a great night, Zeliard. Thanks for hanging with us. Godot's just been drinking way too much underwear.
Yeah, he's just seared his vocal cords at this point.
He's been drinking way too much underwear. Yes, we're now fixated on Phoenix Wright's determination to wear women's panties. Hey, you know what? Whatever empowers him, all right?
I like the way it cradles me.
They've got extra support and a little, like, tucky spot. 11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river, you fucking idiot.
It's like a push-up bra for my balls.
Just take a look at this overhead map. Well, so interestingly enough, Zeliard, there's a thing called panty stuffing. Well, we'll get into that next stream. Have a great night. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. I love rocks.
Oh, you're right.
She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there unless she was fucking Usain Bolt. Or fucking Usain Bolt. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo. Yeah, coffee's really high in caffeine. Some tea is as well.
Huh, so you finally figured it out.
You... No...
Order.
You're just playing with me. My Faye's body is the bottom of Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding.
Bitches be trippin', Chris. And Aki, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Don't forget, if you haven't, get in the fucking Discord, vote on the cooking and cosplay stream, The Femboy Feast. Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
Right, well, I wanted to sound really smart. I was hoping you would have forgotten. I don't actually listen to anything that comes out of Godot's mouth. Well, Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself in the Eagle River.
Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities.
Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be.
Nani?
That's right.
What is the one possibility you were talking about?
That's obviously a bluff. So where's her dead body then?
Well, it's quite simple. She's actually under this table sucking my ding-dong. Absolutely honking that bitch like a clown's nose. Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there's a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Like a ghost wedgie or something?
Swirly.
A what? A swirly? Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is this very instant? Maya Fey is...
It's Godot.
It's Godot! There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. She channeled your ass.
What?
She was here in my courtroom?
She needs some milk.
Somebody! Oh!
He needs some milk. True.
Gamey.
Welcome to Kyo's channel. I'll be your navigator. We say Kuchikawa. And just so you know, you are my favorite simp.
Magnum Dong.
Dahlia Hawthorne.
I'm out of here.
I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see.
So what?
That means you're fucking stupid. But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne?
Well, why that's obvious. It's Pearl Fay, that pathetic little sniveling runt.
No, she definitely can't, dude. She's like fucking sharp as a box of rocks. You're wrong! Shoutouts to Danganronpa. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it.
It's only one thing worse than a rapist.
Child.
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened.
Isn't there... Go ahead, Phoenix. Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? What needs to be a sound alert? God, no.
It could happen if someone was already channeling the spirit.
The same spirit?
Same spirit. Fuck you.
What? Okay. Are we doing... Is, like, Seth still in the voice call while you do it, though? Because, like, I have a feeling Seth would get all, like...
Razzle-dazzle.
Give him the old razzle-dazzle.
Boy, you got dirty mouth.
Someone called me before Pearl did? But who?
Yo, thanks for the raid return. How are you? Hopefully you had a terrific night. Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean?
That boy needs therapy.
Purely psychosomatic. I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now. Am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you, you ding-dong. There was someone who called you before she could.
Ding.
Take that! That boy ain't right. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying P5S. Great game. And this is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Faye is gone. There's only one possibility left.
Sister Bikini.
Come on already, I can't stand the tension.
Have you tried a Timbrel of Tension? Or perhaps Wave of Ice? Works pretty well with Rappathorn and Yangus. Dahlia Hawthorne. The person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey.
What?
What? What?
Am I white Valentino back? What?
That is
How can that be?
that is the official noise of New Jersey, by the way. That's you.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal.
She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey.
Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her,
Well, Gramps, what would happen?
Could it be?
It looks like you finally understand, Your Honor.
Well, I don't. What are you going on about?
What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. And there's only one reason. To protect herself from you.
To protect herself from me?
Dahlia Hawthorne and my Valentino White Maya Faye?
Yes, on the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Faye.
Dahlia Hawthorne's only want one thing. It's disgusting.
Killing Maya Faye. Oh wait, no, I know what it is. She wants
7 hot dogs.
7 hot dogs. The path back to Hazakura was closed off, and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide?
You mean that's when she channeled me?
All this time, you thought you'd been channeled by pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you. It's kind of weird. Kind of all up in her business.
No.
You can fit Maya Faye up there?
Is this a self-insertion thing?
You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp?
You got played by Maya's vor fetish.
Gross.
My Faye killed herself. Isn't it obvious?
Plays for who plays My Gyros. Nice, good job.
Objection.
Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Evil River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple.
I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that who has never been in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could ever have given her such a brilliant idea?
Well, me, of course. Ha ha! Oh, Baba Mia! Mamma Mia!
Mamma mia!
It's Bent Neck Lady with her huge fucking bazonga donka honkaroos.
Fuck.
Big titty mole lady here to save the day again.
Nightmare fuel.
What do you mean?
Faye.
That bent old neck, she's like a Hoover vacuum, a sucking ding dong.
It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Ooh, catfight.
Tick, 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 tick.
So it's true. It was you.
Yes.
Huh. You're something else.
But what are you doing here?
That hair. It's pearls, right?
Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden.
Aha, you're thinking about boobies. That's gross.
And then, in the final moments of your fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Faye.
Yo, have a great night, Imp. Thanks for hanging, brother. Yo, tomorrow night, more Monster Hunter Rise.
Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you.
She did?
Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed.
True.
When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do.
Ask me a question.
She did that? I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was...
I knew that you wouldn't be able to. I knew that you wouldn't be allowed to wander free.
Still fucked it up. Still fucked it. Free? What do you mean?
It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do.
Sucking on my titties because you wanted me, calling me all the time.
Handle Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the secret tunnel until help arrived.
So it was Maya who put that lock on there.
Yeah, so why did you order her to do those 2 things?
Yo, what's up, Meowrick? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good one. Welcome to what might be the finale of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, featuring voice acting.
If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Faye.
Pearls?
Yes. Pearl didn't properly understand the plan.
Well, that makes sense, because she can't fucking read.
So all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Faye's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly.
Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so bad.
So, that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Faye to kill Maya at all costs.
Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along.
How dare you? I won't forget this.
Why not just admit it? Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure.
Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say?
What
What do you mean by another?
do you mean, you people?
Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure.
What? How dare you?
11 years ago. The fake kidnapping, your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but after Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed.
Shut your mouth. That wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman.
And then 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but definitely mentally scarred, so fuck you for that one.
Then there was that time you tried to rob the local Waffle House, not understanding the crowd that goes in there and got robbed yourself.
You wound up killing someone else. Don't fuck with the people at Waffle House. You fuck with Waffle House, your clock's gonna get cleaned one way or another, either from fucking literally vacuum sealed diarrhea, or the cooking staff's gonna whoop you. As a result, you were sentenced to death.
The one chef.
You're the one chef that just eternally
In air quotes.
the chef, the cheese reader, the oracle of the cheese slices that just is actually a Newport.
Cheese reader.
That's literally what they do. They don't write down your fucking order. They put cheese in a certain part of the plate to let you know what needs to be made. It's bad.
It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny.
You wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face.
Not until I throw that ass in a circle. What up, bitch? And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Faye escape, even though she was right there in front of you. Dude, you're like the fucking Cleveland Browns of crime.
Maya Faye, Mia Faye, Mia Faye. You spinster.
Calling her a spinster. Whoa, look out. Damn, she's showing way too much ankle.
That was a whole orgasm followed by an insult. Fuck. I was supposed to kill Maya Faye. Maya Fey? I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would.
There's too many M names, bro.
Maya Mia Misty. Maya Mia Misty.
Mystic Maya Mia Misty?
Go Wi-Fi G-Cell.
Fuck.
That's you.
Oh, and if only you had gotten that spiky-haired jerk guilty of the guilty.
White Valentino bag!
Valentino bag! And if only you had gotten this spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict.
There you go.
I wouldn't have been hanged to death.
Well, that's normally what happens when you get hung. You die.
True.
True!
Gaming.
But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say?
In your white Valentino bag?
Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhat in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity.
I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you because you were already dead.
What about it?
Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on. Forever.
That's very true, Dahlia.
Oh, Mia's gonna bully her in the afterlife so fucking hard.
And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from.
Stuff her in a jar like a genie.
You need that Hank Hill fucking voice clip. You're a loser.
You're a loser!
All of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne. A miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that. No hope of freedom.
Do I look like I know what the Karain channeling technique is?
Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched in front of you has burnt to a crisp. You're wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you?
Mainly a northern educational system, that's why. It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. That's gross. But does it count as a threesome if we fuck? I sell Karain and Karain accessories.
We're gonna condemn you to the worst hell imaginable, living in the Midwest.
Oh, no! Oh, God. Oh.
I'm not ready. Not ready to go.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, show me I got you. I'm not ready. Not ready to go.
She out now. Hey kids, let's summon a demon. Just get your parents' credit card.
Seacrest out.
Oh God, I forgot about Ryan Seacrest. I wonder what he's doing, but I don't actually care.
He did something recently. I don't remember what the hell it was though.
God, I hope it was scat porn.
Nick? Sis?
Yo, sick haircut, dork.
Two girls, one Ryan Seacrest.
Ugh. Hey, this is Ryan Seacrest from MTV's TRL.
Excuse me while I pop a squat. Now then. I assume you are the real Iris?
Yes. I was just rescued from the secret tunnel.
I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. I got a very close look. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Cadeau, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne?
If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to the hell she came from.
It seems that Misty Fey wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Fey, as well as the young Pearl Fey. were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan.
Yes, Your Honor.
The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again.
Your Honor?
Yes, what is it?
About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now.
Well, we've been in this courtroom for so long that I've just kind of shit my pants and wandered off into space. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Crane channeling technique. Now available for $10.99.
Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Oh Cult?
I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. And in all that time, I've finally learned this one thing.
Shitting out the window and pissing out the window are two completely different things?
He is stored in the balls.
Pee is stored in the balls.
Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, you have to make a poop sock. First, we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ.
Never thought of it that way.
At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
What? Oh, fuck off. What do you want, you slimy dickbag?
You're a little too fast with that gavel here.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot?
This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means.
What?
That's right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony?
Huh? Dahlia's testimony?
I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom man.
Oh, shit. She fucking right.
Oh my fucking god, she fucking did.
Yeah, I totally forgot we actually have a dead body to deal
I
with.
have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was bad.
Yo, did Dahlia get yoinked by moms?
Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone.
Yes, that's right.
The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise stroke name. No, Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it.
This isn't over.
Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence.
No way.
But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony.
I don't give a fuck. The prosecution is ready to call our final witness.
Final witness?
This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye.
Indeed.
Sludgy coffee, yum, yum, yum.
Is it really all right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Of course it's all right. A damn attorney.
Very well then. Who is this final witness?
Isn't it obvious? There's only one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case.
Someone who saw the murder take place?
Yeah, the trial's a bit long for a place that has stand your ground laws. Jesus.
The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes.
You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's just been through.
We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Fey to the witness stand.
Oh, Lord.
Well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Fey to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial.
Hey, Wright. I've got something to say to you, so listen up. Let me suck that dick, bitch.
What is it?
I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. Somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always comes dashing in at the last minute to save you. That's bullshit. Where are my bitches?
You've got some nerve.
But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself.
Ah.
That's enough. This court is now in recess.
Yo, Godot's salty as shit, bro.
All those flavors in Hintro Saltine.
February 10th, 2:56 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1.
I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. But I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk.
Like how once Shelby gets into the yeehaw voice, she can't get out of it.
She fucking yeehawed to death. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern.
Secret tunnel.
Through the mountains.
Secret tunnel!
I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today, but to root for you. Bleh. White Valentine. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on.
Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister as much as you did?
Huh?
If you had tried to get help at the Sacred Cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there.
My sister. I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her own mother and never got any love from our father either.
Yeah, tough shit. Yeah, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me.
Ugh.
If only Dahlia had come with me to the Hazakura temple. I always loved her.
Sister Bikini looks like she makes a mediocre fucking green bean casserole for Thanksgiving, and you can't convince me otherwise. What?
Dahlia was always so smart and so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago?
Yeah. I wanted to be useful to her in some way.
Oh.
But as usual, I was too cowardly, and at the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up...
That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. Mamma mia!
But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder.
Some people? You must mean...
Yes, two defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After after poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth. Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her.
Oh shit, she poisoned Godot.
You.
That's right. Iris, there's one more thing I have to ask you.
Yes, what is it?
What the fuck is wrong with your family? Jesus fucking Christ!
There's only one more thing I have to ask you. You fart with that ass?
Haru, what do you...
Yes, sir.
Haru, what do you say? Haru, what do you say to a cute girl? Damn, girl, you shit with that ass? There you go, Haru. On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Denim, was it really you?
Yes, it was me. That night, I rang the bell after lights out. I rang... Bleh. I went back to my room. Sure, something about a bell.
Sure.
At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone.
You have to call me on my cell phone.
Boop, boop,
Boop,
boop.
boop, doop. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away.
The bat signal.
I got on the snowblowbile and headed for the inner temple.
Snowblowbile.
Yep.
But
The path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
exactly. Boop, 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 boop.
We can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it? Just yeet.
Yeet.
This bitch empty.
Me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise always held.
That's gonna be like the most uncomfortable sword to wield.
Awful. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura's temple on the snowblowbile.
But why? Why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Mystic Faye, Misty Faye, Maya Faye.
Mia Faye.
So I dressed in her robe and stabbed her with the Cheeto.
The shit Cheeto.
Cheeto. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it on next to her on the ground.
All right, we got to finish this tonight. Like, we're headed into the last stretch. Iris, just tell me one last thing. You shit with that ass? How old are you? Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone, the real killer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
Are you fucking kidding me? I see.
I only knew his nickname. He just went by Deep Voice.
Defendant! Yes? The judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chamber.
The judge is calling you, girl.
He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. All right.
About
I don't know
an
who
hour
the
and
bailiff
a
was supposed to be, sorry.
hour and a half. All right, let's see if we can truck through this then.
Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you.
Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me?
Bye.
So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. That's you, Bubba.
Phoenix.
Sup, bitches? Mia! How's Maya doing?
Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly in this case.
I see. You don't mean she learned who Elise Nim really was?
Yes, I went to the medical office and talked to her. I told her everything I knew.
But why?
Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it.
Oh.
Yeah, right. She could.
Yes.
Wow. Damn. She's stretching? Practice them Kegels. What do you mean by that?
I want you to figure that answer out by yourself.
Are you gonna watch?
Night in the bedroom.
Are you gonna watch? That'd be hot if you did. You watch? Is that weird of me to ask? Like, it's your sister?
The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet?
Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still. I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident, which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning.
And one more thing. The victim was moved to Hazakura Temple side of the pendulum, by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the inner temple side for almost an entire day.
Exactly, so the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day.
That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win. Or lose.
Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me, all by myself. All by myself. All right, Demon says it'll take like an hour and a half, probably like an hour and 15 minutes. You cool with running a little late tonight just to get this done?
Just get it done.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Only problem with that is my country voice slowly turns into Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that's fine. February 10th, 3:36 p.m., District Court, courtroom number 7. He's staying up late, motherfuckers.
Get through it. Fuck it.
Yep.
Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier.
Blood test.
Tess? That's
Yes, tests on the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree.
Oh, yeah, that. I totally forgot about.
That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim.
Supposedly. Allegedly.
So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or...
Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood.
What?
That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. Bring the ghost back.
So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? Dagger updated in the court record.
I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims.
I got something firm for you, Judge. I understand, Your Honor.
From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly.
It's kind of a noodle arm.
She's kind of like a wet noodle.
Agreed. She's like most college freshmen. Spaghetti.
Well, well. Please bring in the last witness.
She looks like she just shit herself.
Witness, please tell us your name and
My fate, my profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law.
Phoenix, please stop trying to give your penis to the judge.
I'm the assistant manager at Waffle House.
Maya.
According to the magazine I have here, it says you were in the 69 version You know, we should stop there. You're a spirit medium of the Crane channeling technique. Now available.
I'm frightened. The Fae clan. I don't want any more to do with it.
Oh, Maya, the pain in the Fae bloodline causes must be unbearable.
Oh my.
Oh my.
God. Very well. Now then, Miss Faye. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple.
In the God of Davida?
And you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Stroke Name's murder. Is this correct?
Objection.
Straighten up this instant, young lady.
Huh?
Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later.
But I...
Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen?
Witness, if you please.
Yeah, Your Honor.
Fucking hair nipple.
I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened.
I can't tell if Shelby's doing a voice or just dying slowly.
I'm doing a voice.
This has been a Shelby happy episode, so.
Suddenly, I was struck. Someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!"
Oh, somebody!
I need some milk! Then something warm splashed over me.
He needs some milk.
That's when I lost consciousness.
Yo, have a great day at work, Demon. Yeah, we gonna wrap it up. This will be a hot one on the YouTube.
Something splashed her. She failed the challenge pissing. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff.
Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was.
Maya, think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't.
Well, I know she can't think hard. She's an idiot.
Huh. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone.
It seems it'll be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination.
Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all.
At the inner temple.
I was passing through the garden on the way to the spare prep room when it happened.
Who else was in the inner temple side that night?
Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying Iris would be coming later as well.
On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said?
Well, let me think.
She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired.
No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training.
Yo, thank you for the follow. Super appreciate it.
Suddenly, someone struck me over the head.
Who did it? Who hit you?
Show me on the doll.
No. I didn't see who it was. It was hit from behind.
You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was?
Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember.
Maya's really having a hard time. What should I do? Considering the conditions at the crime scene, it's not surprising she didn't see her attacker. The lighting was shit.
Huh. So it looks like even you've got some compassion.
Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely.
The spirit that was channeled by Elise Denim, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Very well. Please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head?
Stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern.
Wait up. What happened afterwards?
My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape, I think.
You think?
After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There was only two things rolling in my head at the time.
What, your brain cells?
Well now, this is beginning to get interesting.
So, what were the two things rolling around in your mind?
My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was gonna lose my memory. I know, it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was.
That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then?
I think I screamed, "Help me!"
Huh?
Oh, somebody.
You think you screamed, but you're not sure?
Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child?
Demogorgon?
I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits.
A beholder?
Believe me, my dear. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. In fact, I already have.
I thought this person might have me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope.
Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? Yeah, go ahead. You named it specifically. Let's go for it. Stressamy Street. I hate it. Oh, wait a minute. Maya, what's this my last hope stuff?
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No. That's what you said. You said my last hope.
What? I said what?
Okay, Jesus Christ, roll it back. Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me!"
Yeah.
But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope.
Oh, well, you know, that's like... What do you call it when that happens?
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
What did you just say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at.
You what?
That's who I was screaming to for help.
What is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out.
Huh?
Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person?
Well, I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done?
Huh. It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say.
Ton of pressure.
William, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. You're totally fine. And you're always welcome to join us and hang out and stream. No worries.
You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. You hide it in the chamber pot.
The House of Learned Doctors. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony.
Could see a man behind my attacker by the light of a stone lantern.
Oh.
So it was lit.
Fucking injection, bitches! So there was a man standing behind your attacker?
Yeah.
That man. He's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise to Nim. Otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother.
The killer?
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you?
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
Huh? What do you mean? What problem?
What do you mean, you people?
Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What?
Mm-hmm. It's true. There was no wick in it. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No.
Order in the court. But Mr. Godot, explain this.
I ain't got a fucking clue, Chief. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au lait.
Cafe au lait. Is that even legal?
Mr. Trite's words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor.
What the fuck?
I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bod, I have you know, you son of a bitch.
You spoony bod! Shoutouts to Final Fantasy IV. 4? Yeah.
You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
Sorry, but that's not going to cut it.
What did you say?
If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Nick.
May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man.
Maybe she didn't want to assume her killer's, gender.
In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker.
No.
Oh, she fucked it good.
Order. What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Objection!
Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There were no other light source at the scene.
There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. All right, who paid attention to, the second case? Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark, and now you're trying to cover for him.
Cover? for the man that killed her mother?
There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is.
Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you.
Huh. You talk a good game, Trite, but let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff.
No, Nick, don't. Please, stop.
Maya's dead set on protecting this guy, the man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court, and I'm here to find the truth.
Better be some good dick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you got. Who is this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness?
Y'all ready to lose your fucking minds on this one?
Nope, because I know who it is.
Do you?
Yep.
Yep. Because it was pitch black, Ms. Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes?
What? But how do you propose to show us something like that?
It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night.
Conditions?
Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off.
Wow. This is, but it can't be.
Huh.
Just need a lightsaber noise.
That was a nice bit of deduction, Trite.
Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder.
I didn't think that. I was wrong.
What?
I was wrong. I didn't think
Who,
that.
did you think it was Edgeworth?
I think it was Larry.
You thought it was Larry Butts?
At first I thought it was Pearls, and then I thought...
Order. Order. Order.
Order. Welcome, Tristan.
Prosecutor can know. What is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denied it?
Huh. Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person.
What do you mean by that?
If you've got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Like the back end of a Buick?
It was the Mothman. Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Woman, I'm going to... Maya?
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man.
Oh, was it just Godot in a fucking wig?
For a totally different reason.
What?
Witness, Mr. Wright.
Stop your chattering, Your Honor.
Chia.
Pets!
Chattering.
If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
All right. Well then, let's continue with the testimony.
What do you mean,
It's been
Chris?
fruitful so fucking far.
What do you mean, Chris? Gumshoe, I'm really good at finding things with a metal detector. My favorite thing to do.
Please tell us. God damn it. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
He had a ding dong.
Couldn't help but notice your Voltrum across the floor.
Ooh.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bulge intensifies. Ooh, woo.
I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but...
The killer.
The killer.
When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit and the body was gone. And all the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too.
Ah, someone had a shovel.
Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
How dare you?
Yeah, wow.
That's offensive.
That's offensive.
So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted.
Like a cow?
It's only natural that you would be a little confused. I would be too after a rough milking.
It's gonna hold my coffee.
Are we
If you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your shit. Proceed with your cross-examination.
Valentino Whitebag!
The killer.
The mic check killer!
When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor.
Hold up. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right?
Yes, I think. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed.
So then the person that carried you into the inner temple?
It could only have been the killer.
That's what I think too.
So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple?
By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed.
Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
I don't know.
God, she's so full of shit. It looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again.
The torches were lit and the body was gone.
The torches were lit?
Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed.
I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be?
The killer probably lit them since it's impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why the fuck did the killer go to the effort of moving the body?
You know, just throw it in the fucking river. That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya.
Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene.
And all of the snow around the stone lantern.
Oh, sorry, finger slipped.
Has been cleaned up too.
Yeah. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. Don't fall out of your chair, Bubba.
What?
The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple. But they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use.
What are they made of? Fucking stone? Lead?
Just made of something paper mache or rabbits?
It's your sick steel.
Your voice is dying to know your voice.
A rabbits?
Marshmallow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away?
Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered.
She's a pretty perjurer. You're my pretty perjurer. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation.
Perhaps. However, there's something that really bothers me.
Is it your hemorrhoids, Judge?
Yes. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, he could have just pissed on it. There was no need to remove that amount.
That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood.
It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will help explain them. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
I think we're gonna loop it. The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. But for what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Yeah, we got everything we needed out of her. Alright, let's press it. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with a crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
You did?
Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake.
What? Hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was only. Wait.
My Valentina White.
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden.
She may have thought that you had done it.
No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened.
See, what had happened was...
Yeah, except there's like this, your name's on the fucking goddamn thing. The body of Elise Tunim was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd.
Oh? And what would that be?
The shit you can't see, Godot.
You must have figured it out by now, Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. If everyone remembers, he can't see red on white. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern?
Ah, you're right. Order. But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene?
Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow, then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody fucking handwriting.
But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern?
I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it.
Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern?
Didn't notice it. You can't see red on white. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought, Trite.
Well, the real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it.
But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that.
Yeah, well, remember the last case, idiot? You're right. There's no way any normal person would.
What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright?
There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether.
And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing?
It's Godot. Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday.
My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything.
Red on white, tears on the river, push on a shove, don't mean much. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot?
This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented.
This lantern, there's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood.
Huh, nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle.
Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct?
I don't see color.
You can't see red on a white background, can't you? I can't.
Question.
Yes.
Okay, but if that's true, then how did he see the blood on the snow?
Because it would be together.
Yeah, it'd be a darker color, I imagine.
It'd be pinky.
Yeah.
This big.
It'd be pink.
This big.
That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at Tribulations.
This is the apron of the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on it.
Oh, that's you.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-covered stain that smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain.
You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup, because it was red.
Huh. It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them?
So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern?
Because it's a dumbass wearing a red visor? Yeah, probably.
Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea.
No, it's good for your digestion, though. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer, but there's no going back now. I've finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Ms. Elise Tunim, also known as Ms. Misty Fey.
It's hard to believe this may be true, however. Once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there.
I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red.
This is rich. Do go on, Trite.
The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow.
Snow? How so?
Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not just take out that area?
Yes. Why didn't he just take that area? Ah, Could it be?
Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark?
Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine.
Ellipses. And once again, this trial is taking on an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot?
Yeah, what's up? My name's Godot. I'm 33 and I never fucking learned how to see. Doom, 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 doom.
Well, wait just a minute.
Hold on a goddamn minute.
Maya.
Well, what is the witness?
Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the Inner Temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
Maya. You can't testify to something like that. After the murder happened, you didn't even exist.
She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder... Bitch, I might be. This witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me.
Maya. Do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her.
Yeah, nicely done, Wright.
Very well. Let's hear the witness's testimony. I'm sure it'll be as useless as the rest of it. Please tell us what happened at the Inner Temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearlie was at the Inner Temple too.
After the incident.
Wow! Wow!
Pearlie was also stuck at the Inner Temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the Inner Temple for the first time. He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up.
Who was this Pearlie?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry. But what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on. Pearl would never tell a lie. She's way more honest person than I'll ever be.
Jesus. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath.
Huh. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness.
But Mr. Godot.
Let's just move on to the cross-examination. If the defense has no objections.
This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, let's get this cross-examination started. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw, brother.
Yo!
Yeah, after the incident.
Pearlie was also stuck on the Inner Temple side that night.
So where did you...
So where do you think Pearl slept that night? Yo, it's a grammatical error. Let's go!
So where did you think that Pearl slept that night, boy?
Have you ever been so to do the what the ever what? So where do you think Pearl slept that night?
In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter training hall during the acolytes training.
What in the sister hugging tooth flong going on with what the hell? But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place?
It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya.
She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense.
Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Denim. You okay, Bubba?
He has my juice. The next morning, she looked around, but couldn't find anyone.
Hold up. She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end?
Well, you see, Pearlie gets very scared when she's alone. And there weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times.
The inner temple side has two structures, the training hall and the spare prep room.
And there's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it.
There was a storage shack too? Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined a storage shack all that carefully?
Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate.
So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack.
The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room.
Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge?
What do you mean?
I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge.
Oh, well, Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times.
Poor little girl, all alone like that.
Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the sacred cavern. Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock.
She couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls.
What happened after the bridge was finally fixed?
That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time.
Yo, Gaggle, thank you for the 23 months. No OnlyFans. Yo, but almost 2 goddamn years. Super appreciate it, homie. Hope you are staying safe, sane, and healthy.
No OnlyFans.
So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godot?
That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question?
Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness.
What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor.
You little shit. Touche, Mr. Wright. Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Godot?
Ugh. Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I would have never visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains? I think I'll pass.
So he had never visited Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh?
Ha! You want to say something, Wright?
In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor. While I cross-examine Maya, that is.
Well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the inner temple side, right?
Yes, and then Mr. Godot... He found Pearly first and cheered her right up.
Welcome, Gaggle. He cheered her up?
That's what Pearly said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot.
That bitch said it. And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict.
Cut it out. You're making me blush.
This guy is really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one.
The truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the Inner Temple side. The policemen are all busy going over the garden with fine-toothed gums, so I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way. Godot style.
I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style.
Maybe I should ask some questions, Phoenix style.
Okay, can we pause? Because I really have to pee.
Yeah, go ahead. I can cover for you. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own? Did you find anything?
It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles.
The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall.
Beauty?
Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Western taste? Do you find a stranger way to describe gravy?
So from there, you're headed for the prep room?
Wait a sec. What did Godot say just now? I think he just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the Inner Temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise and him. I'm just skipping through it because we know where it's at.
I was just gonna read it in a Smeagol voice, so fuck it. Are you waiting for me? You're gonna pick one.
Oh shit.
Oh, she back.
I done did knock everything over.
So a little bit.
It's when Mr. Godot arrived at the Inner Temple for the first time.
Yeah, he fucked up though. Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the Inner Temple was long before the murder took place.
Why do you say that?
Because he just made one fatal slip up. The hanging scroll in the training hall.
Hang us wrong.
But Mr. Godot was right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother.
Yeah, except for your fucking illiterate cousin threw gravy all over it. Maya, I know you know who it is, but there's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this.
Someone smeared shit on it. What's that wonderfully delicious smell?
That would be fecal matter, Your Honor.
I smell the corn.
The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy.
Gravy? But why gravy, Nick?
Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye. Idiot.
Oh. Wait a minute, Nick.
Yes?
Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look, at the top. There's a crest there.
Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct?
Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark...
Then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there.
True, but Mr. Godot scribed what was underneath like this.
Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place.
Can I ask you just one little thing, Trite?
What is it?
This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed.
That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene.
Of course Mr. Godot knew about the plan.
Huh?
What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan?
Yeah, fucking Pearls did. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in the Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls.
Edgeworth. Actually, objection. Dumbass, haven't you heard? You absolute failure.
Thanks for the bit.
Not tell you? Salary cutting.
That's why he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple.
I'll shove my entire cravat up your ass because it's.
And you still
wrong,
insist this crafty killer is me?
You bet I do.
But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden.
Shoutouts to Phoenix Wright memes. If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out.
Yes, and when was that?
During a visit.
A visit?
A visit. Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping? On a visit at the detention center?
Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor, such as Mr. Godot.
Order. But Mr. Godot, you're under fire again.
This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge, and you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder.
Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee.
Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean?
It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life, and he did all of that just to protect this witness.
That's right.
If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. Idiot. I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue a damsel in distress.
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life. His behavior is still a little too unnatural.
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
Oh, I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
You're goddamn right I have. Maya, I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh?
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right.
Okay, Trite, I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's very simple. Maya Fey is just a lot more than just a stranger to you.
What's this?
There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. Bent neck lady! There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, She's Mia Fey's only sister, and you're a fucking simp.
Mia Fey?
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney.
Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney?
Yeah, why do you think he sucks at prosecution? With your Honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot? His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? Did you fuck my dead mentor, Godot?
The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago.
Diego Armando. My name rings a bell.
It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. The case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming, scum-fucking, villainous skive of treachery and scum demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked.
It's my fault. It's all my fault, Mr. Falls killed himself.
Mia, you can't cry yet.
Yeah, too much coffee will do that to you.
The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients, that pure sweetheart of hers, that's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. And one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria.
Ah, I just remembered.
Whoops.
6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned.
Even I didn't see it coming.
Sure, we'll make that joke.
Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee.
Some newspapers at the time called it a murder. Very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all.
No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused.
That's terrible.
Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew.
And I craved the feeling again of my organs shutting down, so I started drinking 300 cups a day.
Then one morning, my eyes flew open, and the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee.
For 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
Yo, fuck you, I'm jealous as shit.
And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathe?
The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Huh, good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad.
For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
The first was you, Wright.
Huh? Me?
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her, but you let her die, and it was all your fault.
It wasn't like that.
I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor?
My other reason for living. She goes by the name of Maya Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
Ew, dude, weird. Are you trying to get the sister act on?
You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Karain village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in perfect position to do something about her.
What's up, Alphonse? That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from becoming caught up in it.
Well, that makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out.
Finally, the day the plan was drawing near, I contacted both of my accomplices. Shoutouts to Grinding Coffee Co.
Accomplice?
Iris of the Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey.
But how did you contact my mother?
I was fucking her too, coincidentally. I have a thing for the Fey family.
She's been missing for almost 20 years.
Officially, yes.
But what do you mean, officially?
You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government?
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Karain had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty Fey was still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she is, she'd never stop thinking about you.
She was always...
That's why. I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve was to protect you, look at her staff.
Cue the Phil Collins music.
Yep.
There's that. The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fey if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price.
Mother...
That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean Pearls, don't you?
We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne.
Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together.
I don't like how you said that.
Ooh, that sucks, Alphonse. Congrats on the fix, though.
We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up.
He was worried and followed me to the inner temple.
That was the thing we were most afraid of, and that's why Misty Fey had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body.
What? What do you mean?
If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As Master of Karain, Misty Fey's power was supreme, so that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Fey wouldn't be able to.
What? Is this true?
My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fey. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple, just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne.
Godot.
Anyway, that's all I'm gonna admit to. Trite. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney, but you're going to have to do the rest yourself.
The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fey, and I'm sad to say, Mr. Godot.
Well, Trite, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all.
Yo, dude, that's perfect.
Great fix. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own.
Show me a move.
No, Nick, please don't.
Maya.
I heard the whole thing. From my sister in the medical office. That's why I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia, and me too.
Me, Maya. Me, Mia.
Me, Maya, me.
Maya, I know that.
Nick.
But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Testify!
Miss Fey, your testimony, please.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
I'm gonna fucking blast through this one. Let's go.
All right, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? The time of the murder.
Murder! You okay?
I was just bathing. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them.
We get it, you babe.
I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood.
Murder?
She wasn't dead though, and she struck back the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
You full of shit.
That's why your mama dead. Dead as hell. These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. Thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden.
It's a great way to prevent explosions.
Huh. Things break, Trite. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Fey? Looks like you still can't prove it.
Maya's telling the truth this time. I know it. Yo, what's up, Raiders? Nompon, how are you, friendo? Welcome to the finale of Phoenix Wright. How was Phantasy Star Online? Numero dos. By the way, I have so many friends that love that. And if y'all don't know Nompon, definitely take a look at them. They a chef. Yo, Dan handed one out to Demon Sensei. Super appreciated, Dan. The rest is up to me. Tonight we are wrapping up Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations with some additional voice acting from Shibbuu and Sesu. Go ahead, Seth.
Well then, Mr. Wright. Proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
I got this one wrapped up already.
The time of the murder.
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but then I was just splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though. She was struck at the back by her... She was struck back. Wait.
Oh, good.
I'm like, Valentina, what?
White bag!
What is your M? She wasn't dead though. She struck back at the enemy behind her.
I've been loving it too. We've been going through this for about a year.
Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream.
I'm hoping we can actually get a copy of the Ace Attorney Chronicles from our friends at Capcom as a Capcom creator, so we can continue doing this on Monday nights. Cross your fingers, I gotta send an email after this stream. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
Nani?
Nani the fuck?
So then, that scream came from the killer?
That's gotta be it.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow.
But welcome to the stream, Raiders. I'm Kios. Mainly do speed
I
runs.
just came to, and then I heard the killer say, "It's over, Dahlia. I have the high ground." Well, Mr. Wright.
But yeah, hope you enjoy. If you're interested in all of our other content, check out the YouTube and the Discord.
It seems to make sense to me.
It sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. There's a contradiction. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
We have one piece of evidence we haven't shown yet, Your Honor. Remember the testimony she just gave? Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said she'd already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already struck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff.
If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Wright.
There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as a weapon here.
If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have used to strike back at the killer?
That would be
Poop sock!
naturally the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. For the 12th time.
This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck in a pine tree.
Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me.
Oh, hey, it's me, Gumshoe.
Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well.
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. Or a fish, who knows? The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. Take off your shirt, I'm going to inspect every inch of you. Start with your pants first.
So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer?
Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood.
Or shall I call you Mr. Armando?
Nice theory, Trite.
Order in the court.
Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test.
Huh. Let me ask you something, right? Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think it would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that behind?
What?
Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom.
Yes. What does that prove?
That boy needs therapy.
Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and planted another person's blood on it.
It can't be.
In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, right? That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance.
What? You're crazy in the coconut. What does that mean?
In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. All right then, witness. Continue your testimony.
Wait a minute.
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but
She farted. She definitely farted.
there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Maya.
This dagger, you said it wounded the killer?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But, if Mr. Godot had really been caught with the dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have rips in them, right?
Maya, maybe he just changed his clothes. That solved the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder? Everyone that was at the inner temple side got trapped there.
That's right. Once the bridge was fixed, the police headed for the inner temple.
Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes.
Oh, come on. Ah! Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Potato gets started. Order in the court.
Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
But no one could have predicted the lightning strike to shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes?
Because a smart woman always brings an extra pair of panties, Your Honor. I mean,
Don't wear any of them.
Woo! Did the judge just take smart pills during the last recess? He's definitely banging on the crystal again. Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on them. What is he, fucking Patrick, what is it, Patrick fucking... From American Psycho, Patrick Bateman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just put on a poncho.
Feed me a stray cat.
That's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late at night?
The audacity.
After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid.
Ah!
Potato, you want a voice act? She said no.
So that's all you got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this, you little bitch. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, you would have closed the book on this case already.
Mia Fey were here.
So come on, Trite. Can you do it or not? You gonna fuck me like a man?
You don't get the ball.
You don't get the ball.
How about it, Mr. Wright? You accused Mr. Godot of being the killer. For can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence?
The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. This is the only choice I have.
Summon me a fae.
I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer.
Oh, Godot and his fae fetish.
I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. Little bitch.
Huh, that's good. Fight her till the bitter end, right? Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty?
Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need.
Dun, dun, dun.
Give me a break. You got nothing, right?
So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle.
All right then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you got.
There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proved by the blood on the dagger.
But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. Be free, potato. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a blood stain on his clothing. I'll send potato free.
Nah. There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound.
What did you say?
It's time for the attorney badge. Exactly, Ichigo. This is it, my last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing. I just need to show how he hid the wound.
It's the end of the line. The final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you got. Where is this location where you say the killer hid his wound?
My raccoon wounds.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right? What was that just now? Yeah?
What in the hugging your sister a little too long carnation is going on here?
What in the inappropriate touching at the petting zoo is this shenanigans?
It can't be.
Madder than a woodpecker in a rubber-nosed forest.
You're living on. Through him?
Rubber-nosed woodpecker in a...
Flaccid-nosed woodpecker? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound.
Something country.
Can't hide your raccoon wounds from me.
It's beneath your mask! Welcome to Persona 5, ladies and gentlemen. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, we'd sure love to see it. And I'd say this whole case is solved.
By George, I've got it.
Take it off. Take it off.
Take
Ah! I do believe he shit himself.
I do believe I may have soiled myself.
Hey.
Just now, I saw her spirit.
She lives in me.
I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped a woman who put me to sleep by hiding a bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die.
Sad coffee sounds.
But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forget. That's what I thought.
Mr. Godot.
But I was wrong about you. Knew it from the very beginning. Truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was me.
Ready? Ready? Let's see how right I am. Ready? You ready? Yes! God, I love it when I'm right.
Yourself?
I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me, no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth. You don't have any. So to escape from the reality, the harshness of reality, I just couldn't face Mia's death head on. So I ran. I hid beneath a mask. I'm a shapeshifter. Got no shape at all. Please don't take off my mask. My place to hide. Boo, doo, 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 doo. Anyway, I threw away my truth. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney, so I quit.
But you saved Maya.
Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, and she fucked that up royally. Huh? Way to go, asshole.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick?
But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. You know why? Real reason?
No, why?
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
Uh-huh?
I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact I couldn't save nothing. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me.
This might be a surprise, but I'm a narcissist.
You're wrong! You put your life on the line to save Maya. Whatever. Fuck off.
Rusty.
Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I was gonna start prepping everything for bed.
That night, in the darkness of the garden, saw her silhouette. A part of me must have known the truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl, but I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have simply been a desire for revenge? Now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was just chasing an illusion, fantasy. Stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Miss Death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender. In that one moment, I understood everything.
You'll get some rest, Sonics. We're definitely wrapping up really quick here. I just gotta plow through the rest of it. Mr. Godot.
I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Didn't we just cover this? Why is she surprised?
Mr. Armando, I believe in you.
He lives in
I know
you.
you were trying to save me.
Thanks.
Your wound. It's bleeding.
Your raccoon wounds.
My strong hand!
Did you forget already? My world, the color red doesn't exist.
Take my strong hand.
These must be my tears.
Tears?
Ever since I woke up from the coma, I've been waiting for the very moment. Ah!
Mr. Armando.
You could say I'm metal as fuck.
You do well to remember this month. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
This time, it really is all over, isn't it? We found it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body in the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk, and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright.
Yeah, and it's if you have any prime sub, use them somewhere else. I have a full-time job. Get out of here.
I want to apologize to you.
Apologize? To me? For what? Hey, what's up, Kindred? We're running late and trying to push through. Hope you're having a terrific night.
I mean, I'll take your prime subs, twitch.tv/TheSesu.
Yo, he looked like such a dork as a...
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover?
Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. He was going to do it. She was planning to kill me.
It's not all that surprising.
Damn, getting everyone up on the mics? Let's go!
The two of you hardly knew each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister only met twice.
Yeah, but that ass was slamming. Huh? We only met twice? Oh
The
no.
first time you met was on that faithful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse.
Oh shit.
The next time you met with her was 8 months later. You met her again on the night that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed.
Forgot his name was Doug Swallow. No way. It just can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were...
For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
Huh? It was me, Theo. That was me, Dino. Hey, I got some fucking sweet gemstones for you, buddy.
I hope one day you can forgive me, Feeny.
Aw, damn. She wanted that prosecutor D. Well, defense attorney. You mean...
Everyone in this game wants to call him anything but Phoenix.
They wanted his...
I lied to you for 8 months.
She wants that sweet, sweet Phoenix.
But why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you that bottle that day. My sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance. She couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the very beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
Prepared for the worst?
He thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
You already had so much to answer for, I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
And that's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle pendant back for me in her place?
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that.
Well, you are dealing with the world's dumbest man, so.
8 months passed and I still couldn't get back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened.
Oh, yeah, true.
Swallowed his last mouthful.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you were partners in crime. We would confer with you.
I think she must have noticed
Notice what?
my feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her.
Well, you probably should have.
Even if it meant her life. Or mine.
Would have saved us a lot of time here. Iris.
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
It will.
Woo. I have something to say to you, too.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you.
Thank you.
All right, let's wrap this shit up. Let's go. Gotta go to bed, motherfuckers.
How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't. I'll tell you, though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix Wright?
Must be Folgers.
Yeah, right. Fucking Sonka. Shout outs to our coffee sponsor, Grinding Coffee Co. And if you're a tea nut like me as well, definitely check our friends out at nerdteas.ca. Yeah, I think you're right.
The purpose of this trial is to rule on the murder of the victim, Elise Strokename. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant
Say it with me, chat. Not guilty!
not guilty. Court is now adjourned. Peace, bitches.
These bitches, I'm out.
Seacrest out.
Wow.
So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended, was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Obadeshu.
Of course, just served.
Sorry it has taken so long, these motherfuckers. Mia!
I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant.
But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you.
You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible.
You mean, with that verdict?
I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing.
These ginormous titties?
You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you could learn from me.
Mia!
You've accomplished something I wasn't able to.
Breast reduction?
I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
Mia!
I'm sure we'll meet again, someday, Phoenix.
I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick,
Maya!
I guess it's just like my sis said.
Mia? What did she say?
That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Phoenix.
I'm sorry. What?
Come on, cut it out with that gloomy face.
Hamburger.
Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick.
Maya, how can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your mother murdered. Ouch! But Franziska?
Seth, this is so you.
This is you, Seth. She's German.
Where are your papers? Still as softy as always, Phoenix Wright.
If you keep whipping, it might get hard. Excellent work, Wright.
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? When did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Franziska have been actually helping me.
Helping you?
If those two hadn't been there on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow. But where were you, Nick?
I heard he fell into a river, and I caught a nasty cold which forced him to sleep all day.
Yeah, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
Oh, ouch. Not embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training.
Fuck all of you.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth, and you too, Franziska.
I don't suppose there's room for me in this group hug, is there?
Oh, Larry.
What's with the longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone. Not even once.
That's not true. Right, Nick?
What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No. Oh yeah, those portraits you painted. They were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me? Why are you making that face, huh, Edgy? Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Franzi? Did I draw you well, too? Ah!
My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon, cunt. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something.
So then you'll do it? Like you promised? You're gonna model for my next picture book? Franzi's whippity-tippity-tip?
Don't get carried away.
Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. The painting of Pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls? Where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back.
Don't catch another fucking murder charge while you're gone. Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you were wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Franziska? That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. I think I understand how she feels. Is it because she has 2 brain cells? Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
What do you mean by now is exactly the time?
Well, Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya? Edgeworth. I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow!
So tell me, Phoenix Wright, who is Maya Fey being strong for?
Pearl.
Is it me?
Is it Pearl?
Pearl Fey.
Parfait. It's not Wendy Oldbag. Fuck that cunt.
The poor kid, after all, the reason she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fey clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya, even though she can't fucking spell.
But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable.
That's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake, until she can see her smile again.
Oh, hey, so this is where you all were. Wow, looks like we got quite a bunch here today. Ouch! What was that for, sir?
Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sorta kinda gone down by a teeny weeny bit, but it's alright. I made reservations at a first-star French restaurant tonight.
Oh god, no, not Tribulations.
Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward.
Detective Gumshoe? You said a first-class French restaurant? You don't mean...
Yeah, Tribulations. Where else?
I knew it. We're doomed.
Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, crybaby, you're invited too.
Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser's shack eating potatoes.
You know, Maya's taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls.
Love me some French fried potatoes.
Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do?
Make the game end.
Pearly, I can't find her anywhere.
Huh?
Oh my fucking gosh, you fucking did.
Oh my fucking gosh, fucking.
I'll bet she just went back home. That's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before.
There is not enough therapy, as I figured. She has been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Smoke a blunt. Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, what is it, pal?
Could you guys go on ahead?
What about you?
Maya and I will... We'll join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick!
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world, even if it will give me food poisoning and I'll probably rocket shit out my asshole.
Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead.
Don't keep us waiting, right? I've got that dick to suck.
We won't.
But where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that pearls may have gone to. Von Karma is a very attractive lady.
Bruh.
Hazaka Temple.
For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started.
Seth, you do bikini.
Oh no.
Older woman, go.
Okay, it's gonna be cursed.
What's this? You're all back again so soon?
It's terrifying.
Sister Bikini?
I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight.
So she's here? Pearly is here?
She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
Okay.
Get some rest, Dan. All right, Bubba, you're Phoenix Wright. You have to finish the text. Make my one.
Okay, wait. What's the advanced text?
It's because far away.
Pearlie's not here. Ah! Maya, the hanging scroll. Someone cleaned it off.
Someone cleaned the shit off of it.
It's gotta be Pearls. Ah! Mystic Maya! Pearlie? Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother. That's why you came. That's why you came here. It's the least I could do to pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearlie. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course I'm sad that my mother is gone, but how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie just to make me feel better. No, really, it's true. The only reason I'm still here is all thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. Even if you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be sure. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya. I'm impressed.
Oh, that's bikini.
I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty.
Sister Bikini.
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night.
Oh god, my voice is gonna die.
After honoring the good name of I don't have the right to face me. Still, Maya's always. It's true. She'll always be with me till the day I die.
Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets.
She'll always be with me the day I die. Huh? There's a rule or something that all masters are to follow, isn't there? Never take the charm off if you die. That's the master's talisman. Thing that Misty kept her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was in. Rather, it was the continent. Continents. Asia, South Africa.
That's...
A photo? Mother... It's only natural for living creatures to fight and protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly...
What makes a man a man?
Yes, Chris, I am now the cat boy. Hello. Even when the battle is over and the bonds that connect are severed, we always return time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of them. Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. Ah! This This is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest.
Wrong voice.
That was Phoenix. Alright, whatever. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today. But I still can't.
Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back.
No.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training, I promise.
I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations.
Before this help.
I'll make sure to prepare reservations for the 3 when you come back. Wow.
Alright, we're gonna have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya. I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight. You know, there's one thing I don't get and probably don't want to, but... What is it, Nick? Reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3? Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us.
Huh?
I'll be waiting for you.
Why are your hands so...
Sister Bikini will take special care of you.
Oh, boy. Huh? Huh?
It'll be great, Nick. We're gonna do this special course, naturally.
Korean accessories. Huh? Huh?
That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you'd do anything for Mr. Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? We'll have a nice big meal before the next time we come, right, Nick? That was
Hamburgers, you know? I was wondering if I can say just one little thing.
sure. Of course you can. Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it.
I hate it here. Long child up in bed. Long child up in bed.
Long time.
Well then, here goes nothing. Objection! GG, we did it!
No!
It turns out the true murderers were the friends we made along the way.
Wait, that was it?
That's it.
Oh no, here we go. Still some more. Oh, it's auto skipping the text.
Yep, auto skipping. Great job after what, probably a year. We finally put this bitch to bed. Let's go!
Oh my goodness.
Great job, everybody. Super appreciate Shelby and Seth helping out on voicing. You want to plug yourself in chat there and on the VOD there, Chief?
I guess I could.
Go for it. I'm Shibbuu. I don't stream. I sit behind kiosks and watch Netflix.
You play Monster Hunter Rise.
I also play Monster Hunter Rise.
And 7
most
Days to
nights
Die.
after 5 p.m. if you want to join. Seth and I will be playing.
Yeah, you can find that in the Discord. There is also Seth's link. Definitely check him out. Would recommend. The gravelly voice maiden needs some company. But yeah, I'm gonna dip out of the call.
I love weenies.
Hey, Maggie Bird loves weenies. Fuck it. I will run the plugs here. If you haven't checked out the Discord, definitely do that. Feel free to drop us a subscription on YouTube. The goal is to maybe do, we can wrap up Nina Aquila maybe, do that voice acted if you want. And the goal is to get a copy of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles from Capcom, and we can just jump right back into it. If you want to support our sponsors, Grinding Coffee Co. and nerdtees.ca. And if you feel like supporting me, there's a link to the merch store and the Throne wish list. But yeah, thank you all so much. We'll also give you a shout out to our friends Nompon, who swung by playing some Phantasy Star Online. They are a fabulous, fabulous chef. VTuba, our friend Sonics, who raided in earlier as well. our really good friend Flutter. Definitely check them out as well. And to start the night off, rated by a very good friend, High Spirits, 5 very good content creators. Would highly recommend. Y'all are just super terrific. Thanks for hanging with us as we wrap up another series. I'm going to start doing back-end work pretty much damn immediately while the... But yeah, I appreciate everyone hanging around. Form. No, why would you? No. Dane, please. Computer, please stop. You're ruining it for everyone. Yeah, Rhonda Light, the femboy fantasy. Is that it? Have we made it through the important... Oh, no, we're still dealing with some character. I forgot about Basil. So did y'all enjoy it? Shall we continue playing some murder mysteries on Monday? Oh, we'll both be. Objection! Yeah, well, don't forget, Phoenix Wright is also a bit of an...
Objection!
Well, I think this is pretty played through, huh? Goddamn. Old bag. Yep, feel free. I'm already starting to wrap up. We just playing out the credits. Good old Phoenix Wright. While the leg bone's connected to the Phoenix bone. once again, we'll say super, super thanks to our friends at Capcom. Thank you so much. Super proud to be a part of the Capcom Creators Club. Me, I got to go the fuck to bed an hour ago. So thank you all so much for hanging with us. We will find a very quick raid target, and we will see you